Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this video is very difficult for me to film. I never thought I would be filming a video on this topic. This is going to be my Disney princess diva story when I acted like a diva, or at least the closest thing that I can think of to acting like a diva. This is like my worst attitude that I ever had in my collective memory of the years that I worked in Disney Entertainment performing the role of Princess Jasmine. And if you don't want Disney magic to be ruined, this is more of a behind the scenes former cast member story. So maybe if you don't want to hear things about the real people, you know, then maybe this isn't the video for you. This probably isn't the channel for you, because I talk about my time when I used to work at Disney in Disney Entertainment. So I want to start this video off by saying there is no excuse for my behavior when I did this. You know, we all have done something that we're ashamed of. We all have regrets in our life. I hate those memes where like people are saying, I don't have any regrets. I'm like, I have regrets. I have things that I wish that I had never done. So I don't understand why somebody would have no regrets. It's like, did you actually never do anything that you regret? I don't know. This video is just meant to be for fun. It's for entertainment. You know, that's all this video is meant for. You know, maybe you can relate to it, maybe not. I hope that this video is enjoyable. Okay, so I'm gonna start the story. I wanna say it was late 2005. I'm gonna set the scene for you guys. I had been working like 60 hours a week doing this role as Princess Jasmine nonstop. It was crazy. Like, if I wanted more than one day off, I would have had to have called in sick. So part of me feels like this diva moment that I had came from partially from being overworked. There were probably other contributing factors, things going on in my life that caused this. But that's something that I remember being a big deal for me at the time. But anyway, so I was working at Epcot. Okay, so when I would come into Epcot, I would clock into the building that I would walk into where the cast member parking lot is. And then in that building, and I don't know if they still have cosmetology there, but that's the building where they had cosmetology. And they had a lot of lockers for other cast members that didn't work in entertainment, but they had our cosmetology wig room in there where we'd put on our makeup and everything. And then you used to have to walk behind Epcot, like behind the Mexico area is where all of the entertainment stuff was, the entertainment buildings. And you used to have to walk across a street to get to another building where they had your wardrobe and where you would check in with management to let them know, hey, I'm here, I'm going to be performing Princess Jasmine, whatever. They usually knew who you were. But so how I used to have to cross the street to go from where I clocked in and where the cosmetology building was to get to the costume building and the management building, you used to have to, like, there was literally like a little road. It looked like a little street, you know. And you know, and these roads, they had little crosswalks. It was, you know, it was very formal. But at the same time that these roads were busy, they weren't busy, because it was like every so often you would see a car or a bus or some kind of thing drive by, but it was rare, honestly. Like, it wasn't like there was all this traffic coming nonstop, but sometimes there could be traffic, but a lot of times there wasn't, especially like at 7:30 in the morning when I was going in. I don't remember a ton of traffic. So it's important for you to understand this about the back of Epcot. You know, so every single day I was going from cosmetology to the wardrobe building to the Norway break room. There was a library, like popcorn building out there that I used to always go to. And nobody ever adhered to this one little crosswalk that they had. People just crossed the street, jaywalking, so to speak. And I mean, it was a small little road. It wasn't like it was this ginormous, you know, freeway or something like that. It was this small little road where minivans and, you know, you would also see, so you would see tour buses, minivans, you know, work trucks or whatever. But again, not a heavy traffic area, you know, but at the same time, people were constantly crossing this street. And a lot of times it almost kind of seemed empty, like it wasn't even there sometimes. So anyway, so one day, lo and behold, they had a security guard out there, and he was making sure that people were going to be crossing the crosswalk and not just randomly walking across the street wherever they pleased. me being the late person that I can tend to be, like always running 5 minutes behind or whatever, I was like, I saw this little security cop guy there hanging out, and I was like, I can't be bothered by this. I need to cross the street now. I'm not going to go all the way up there to that crosswalk that is way inconvenient. No, I'm not going to go up there. There's no traffic. There's never any traffic. You know, I would be waiting, who knows how long I would have had to wait to actually see some car drive by. So in my little head, I'm thinking, oh no, ain't nobody got time for that. No. So I just proceeded with and I was in my Princess Jasmine costume too, which makes this even worse. You know, so I just parade across the street, never minding him, pretending he's not even visible. He was invisible to me, and I'm just going to the wardrobe building, and he's like, you there, you stop, you need to come up here to this crosswalk. And I had already crossed the street. Like, this street was kind of small, right? And I was already across the street, already practically in the wardrobe building, and he's calling me back. He wants me to literally walk back and go up this crosswalk, and I am like, oh heck no. And I was like, I am not going back there. No, this is a stupid little street that nobody even, I went off on him, like, and then he went off on me. We were going off on each other. And meanwhile, I see like my other princess friends who, like one of the Cinderellas especially sticks out to me. She was just like totally sweet girl. She like walked up, she saw the argument and the fight going on, and she just crossed on the crosswalk. She wasn't gonna get involved. I'm not here. It was kind of her attitude, and she's like walking across. Meanwhile, people are like watching this fight breaking out between me and the security guy, and people are just like crossing on the crosswalk listening to him, and I'm thinking, these people are just doing this because he's freaking out and we're freaking out. So I was just mad that nobody else was crossing the street too, because I'm thinking, all you guys cross this street, why aren't we crossing this street? Let's show this guy that he does not have control over us. It became a power struggle, and I was like, this is pointless. You're you know, this whole thing was pointless, and I just was like, whatever, and I didn't even care, and I knew that I wasn't gonna get in trouble. That's the worst part. That's even worse. Like, that makes me feel like crap. The fact that I knew, like now looking back, at the time I was like, whatever, I'm not getting in trouble for this. And I just went into the wardrobe building fuming, like mad, like, who does that guy think he is? Why does he even care? Like, and I was just like mad, like shaking, and I was so mad. And this happened 12 years ago, and over the past 12 years, I would say probably once a year, I revisit this story and I kick myself, and I get so upset with myself, and I think, why couldn't you just have listened to him? Why didn't you just go up to the crosswalk and just make him happy? Like, don't cause drama, just follow his rules. Okay, so you would have been an extra 2 minutes late. Okay, so what, Jen? Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Like, that is what I tell myself constantly. Like, I regret it. I regret that fight so much because, I don't know, first of all, it's poor character. If I could see that security officer again, I would apologize to him. Because something I never thought about at the time, this probably like 2 or 3 years after this happened, I started thinking about it, and I was like, how sad is it that this poor security guard was told to go and guard a little street behind Epcot where there is little to no traffic. My thing is, if I was a security guard, I would want to be like where the action was. I would want to be guarding over areas where there could be a high amount of theft. Like, I would want to be catching bad guys. Like, why? I don't know. I almost feel like my self-esteem would be really low if my manager told me, guard that little street where there's hardly any traffic behind Epcot, you know, behind the Mexico Pavilion, and make sure nobody jaywalks. Like, that makes me sad for the police officer. Maybe Disney really did care about the jaywalking. Maybe they did. It's just, he was just trying to do his job. Like, somebody put him in charge of making sure people weren't jaywalking back there. So I guess like something that I've learned through all of this is, you know, sometimes people are going to ask you to do annoying things or things that just sound dumb to you or whatever. But what he was asking me to do, it wasn't going to hurt anything. Sure, it might have made things a little bit more difficult for me, but I feel like if somebody's asking you to do something that isn't harmful, and technically, if you want to be a stickler for the rules, yes, they are asking you to do the right thing, especially if the person is just doing their job. Why fight about that? Why not just do the right thing? Just be humble. The world does not revolve around you. Just listen to them, do it. Keep the peace. That is the main thing I learned, that some things are not worth fighting about. Even if you think that that thing is stupid, do it anyway. It's the right thing to do. And you know, and so I just kick myself so bad for not having listened to this man. My diva moments were never with other cast members that I know of, or if it happened, like there's nothing that I can purposely remember doing, like to have a diva moment with somebody else, although I can talk about Mean Girls because there were girls who were mean to me. But I think actually too, some of the Mean Girl stuff was actually going on towards me, so maybe I was then taking it out on this poor guy too, in addition to working so many hours. And I ended up actually going seasonal. I was like, I can't do this, and I went seasonal. And I felt like going seasonal as a Disney character was the right thing for me to do. It allowed me to take a break and step back and really appreciate being a Disney character, because you do take it for granted when you're working more than you even want to work. And I remember before doing Princess Jasmine, if you would have told me that I was going to be hired to do her, I would think that I would never get tired of doing her, no matter how many hours I had to do it. But I was newly married. I wanted to spend time with my husband. I was in school at UCF, so I had a life outside of Disney. And then to have to do it 60 hours a week, it just was too much for me. So that's something to be concerned about, is mandatory overtime. It is a possibility. And so people have also asked me about, like, did being a Disney princess ruin the magic for you? And so I would just suggest maybe never going full-time. Part-time for me was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. Part-time for me was 2 days a week when I used to work on Fridays and Saturdays, because I would go to school at the University of Central Florida Monday through Thursday. I had 4 classes. It gave me plenty of time to do all my schoolwork and be with my fiance/husband when we did get married. And then Fridays and Saturdays I was going to make magic at Disney, and Sundays was my day with my family, and it was just, for me, that was like perfection. But when I went full-time and had the mandatory overtime, my life got totally out of whack. I was not happy. Not a happy camper now. So I would not suggest going full-time if you are a student. I guess I could go on talking about this, but I feel like I would be beating a dead horse. I learned a good lesson about keeping peace with people, and I hope that you're able to take something away from this story too, about maybe, you know, letting things go sometimes. Just don't stress out. Don't cause drama. If you don't need to have the drama, just sometimes let people have their way. You don't always have to have your way all the time. Even if your way, you know, seems better in your eyes, like, what's the big deal? There's nobody here at this street, you know, so what? So what? This poor man was relegated to guarding a street where there was little to no traffic. Do him a favor and make him feel like his job is special. Like, that's another thing. I didn't even take his feelings into account, or what he might have been going through. He might have been going through something too, you know. So comment below if you want to hear my Mean Girl stories at Disney. Comment below letting me know what other things you want to know about with the Disney princess thing, if there's some sort of story you'd like me to share with you guys. I hope you like this video. Please like it if you liked it, which you might not like it, but please share this video if you think someone might be interested, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more types of videos. I'm trying to do a little bit more vlogging, you might have noticed. I'm especially trying to capture as much video in the Disney parks as I can before my passes expire in late December. But even when my passes expire, I feel like I'll be able to still talk about things that you can do around Disney for free, like on property, because I feel like there's still things to do on Disney property even if you aren't actually in the theme parks. And I'd also like to do more mom related videos, Disney mom type stuff if I can. So let me know in the comments below what types of videos you'd like to see. Somebody had mentioned like best rides for kids. I definitely love to share like my experience having taken babies and toddlers to Disney. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye bye.